My son, are you clear of mind and stout of heart?
I am.
Are you ready to sacrifice? Sacrifice everything to become the savior?
I will.
Do you have the strength to sweep aside this world and build it anew?
I must.
Now, are you ready to fulfill your destiny?
Yes. I am ready.
I think, honestly, making bosses in Path of Exile 2 is the most satisfying part of the job. It is so enjoyable from start to end. Even after it's gone out, it's satisfying. I think if I could choose to do anything all the time, full time, that would be the single thing. Bosses in Path of Exile 2 come about two major ways. You obviously have the more traditional approach where you create a narrative and you design a boss around that narrative.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself!
The second way, which I think is something that can be very unique and create some of the more interesting encounters, is letting the creative genius of our artists do what they need to do. They can come up with something completely abstract, and this is how you get some of the most awesome things, because all of a sudden it can be something with 100 tentacles, or 9 limbs, or no limbs, or 1,000 teeth, or none, and obviously things that aren't even in my imagination. Well, a boss in Path of Exile 2 ultimately is the culmination of decades of experience, making hundreds, if not thousands, of bosses in its predecessor, taking all that knowledge together, and puts it in a package that delivers the best of what could possibly be of boss encounters in an action RPG environment with bosses that are utilizing Souls-like mechanics. Despite the fact there's over 100 bosses, and more to come, a lot more to come, every single boss fight is completely unique, hand animated from scratch. It is designed from scratch, it is balanced from scratch, and it doesn't reuse a single asset in our library or anything like that. One of the main challenges balancing boss fights in Path of Exile 2, especially compared to its predecessor, you have to, in a single attempt, reduce the boss from full life to 0 in order to then progress through. If a player cannot defeat them now, then they're stuck. which helps in many ways because it makes the bosses feel so much more satisfying to kill once you do overcome it and learn it. It is very, very important to us that Path of Exile bosses, mechanics, especially around telegraphing, feels fair to the user, as opposed to them being cheated out of something when they happen to die. We want to make sure that hitboxes are accurate, and of course, when something hits you, it feels like it hits you. It ultimately makes it feel that much more satisfying when you kill it, and you feel that much more pride when you are able to overcome something difficult, knowing that the game hasn't robbed you of this thing. At the end of the day, you want to see that healthy balance where some people are struggling, and you want to see that moment, that second-hand moment where someone overcomes that challenge and is so happy for doing so. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Relentless, and that makes you predictable. The end of Marraketh tyranny is nearly at hand.
In order to take down this boss, we're going to need all the tools in the monk's arsenal, especially the combo of Freeze and Glacial Cascade. If you're a POE1 player, you might think that you can't really rely on Freeze because there's so many bosses that are immune to it, but in POE2 that's changing significantly. In POE1, Freeze is a binary mechanic. An attack freezes the target or it doesn't. What this basically means is that in POE1 we were forced to add freeze immunity to many bosses, because freeze just trivialized them. Because of that, freezing was something you only really used while pack clearing, and not something you could rely on as a core part of your build for boss fight. In POE2 though, all crowd control mechanics now have internal meters that allow you to build up to a freeze or stun, or whatever other CC mechanic you might be using. It's a little bit like poise from games like Elden Ring, though the meters tend to be a lot smaller than those games. When you freeze an enemy, it increases the amount of freeze you need to do another freeze, but the increased difficulty bleeds away slowly. More freeze will always let you freeze the boss more often, but this system means it will not get out of control in party play or interact badly with other CC mechanics, allowing us to let these kinds of mechanics actually work against all bosses.